Everything you know about Sparta comes from a movie. The unbeatable warriors, the society built for war, the 300 men who stood alone against an empire. Almost none of it is true. And here's the strange part. The lie wasn't invented by Hollywood. It was invented by the ancient Greeks themselves. Historians even have a name for it: the Spartan Mirage. Let's start with the big one. The invincible Spartan army. In the year 425 BC, on a tiny island called Sphacteria, Athenian forces cornered a Spartan unit. According to the myth, Spartans die before they surrender. These Spartans surrendered. 120 of them were paraded through Athens as prisoners, and the Greek world was stunned, not because Sparta lost, but because the legend cracked in public. Then in 371 BC, at the Battle of Leuctra, the Theban general Epaminondas didn't just defeat the Spartan army, he shattered it. He killed their king and roughly a third of Sparta's remaining full citizens in a single afternoon. Sparta never recovered as a major power. Even Thermopylae wasn't 300 men. Around 7,000 Greeks held that pass. Thespians, Thebans, and Helot slaves fighting alongside the Spartans. History just cropped them out of the picture. But here's what the legend really hides. Spartan citizens, the famous warriors, were a tiny minority in their own country. The overwhelming majority of people in Sparta were Helots, an enslaved population that farmed the land so citizens could train. Historians estimate Helots outnumbered Spartans several times over, and Sparta was terrified of them. According to Plutarch, every year the government formally declared war on its own slaves so that killing them wouldn't count as murder. A secret police of young Spartans called the Crypteia roamed the countryside, targeting Helots deemed dangerous. Sparta wasn't built for war against Persia. It was built for war against its own population. So who created the myth? Mostly other Greeks. Athenian aristocrats who hated their own democracy pointed to Sparta as a disciplined ideal. Philosophers romanticized it, and Plutarch, the source for most famous Spartan stories, wrote about 500 years after Sparta's golden age. That's like someone today writing an eyewitness account of Columbus. The historian Thucydides, who actually lived during Sparta's peak, made a prediction. The city was so plain, so unimpressive, that future generations would never believe it had been powerful. He was wrong about one thing. We didn't underestimate Sparta. We invented one that never existed. None of this means Spartans weren't formidable soldiers. They were. But the perfect warrior society, that was propaganda, and it worked for 2,400 years. So here's my question for the comments. What's the historical fact you believed the longest before finding out it was a myth? I'll cover the best answers in a future video. If you enjoyed this, the next legend that needs busting is on your screen right now.